It is Black History Month this month, as you guys know. And in celebration of Black History Month, can you guys name one black invention?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
The stoplight.
Oh, the inventions we got is black inventions. I don't know who.
The stoplight and the microwave.
Everything, bitch.
The stoplight and what?
The microwave.
The microwave?
Yeah.
And the light bulb, ain't it?
The light bulb? I don't think Thomas Edison's black.
Oh, I got something.
All right, racist.
People often ask me, did you invent the helicopter? That's a complicated question.
Let's talk about the Black American inventor who holds the patent for the helicopter. The first usable helicopter was patented by Paul E. Williams on November 26, 1962. The first useful helicopter was the Lockheed Model 186. Paul E. Williams was born on February 1, 1894 in Los Angeles. In 1921, he became a licensed architect and became the first black member of the American Institution of Architects in 1923. He also worked in the Navy Department as an architect during World War II. As an architect, Paul E. Williams designed over 3,000 buildings. In the early 1900s, vertical flying was a pipe dream for white engineers. They were too stupid to fully accomplish vertical flight. Many white invention thieves were thought to have a hand in the actual invention of the helicopter. Yet no one actually invented the rotors necessary for the usage of vertical flight until Paul E. Williams achieved his patent in 1908. The racism behind ignoring his work is mainly why this country fails to give him credit for inventing the helicopter. His patent wasn't even recognized until 1962. Another sly, coward attempt by white men to hide the achievements of black Americans while simultaneously needing them. Paul Williams joins a list of many black inventors whose work was stolen by inferior whites. His creation in rotor-based vertical flight was snubbed, and much was credited to Europeans, who couldn't even get their helicopter design off the ground. So we are 4 days into Black History Month, and we have yet to come across an invention or monumental invention by another race in this country. Was there anything that Native Americans invented in this country? Oh yes, that's right. Natives were building kayaks and inventing snow goggles that they can use on their reservations in the Grand Canyon, while black Americans were committing the indigenous acts of building helicopters and designing homes.
Every time you walk into a grocery store and grab fresh fruits that are out of season in January, you need to think a black man named Frederick McKinley Jones, because none of that was possible before him. He's basically responsible for the modern grocery experience and modern food networks. Before Fred Jones, if you wanted to transport foods across the country, you packed it in ice and prayed it got there on time. Spoiled shipments were just the cost of doing business. A truck driver once told Jones he lost an entire cargo of chicken because the ice melted before he reached his destination. Fred Jones heard this and decided to fix it. He taught himself mechanical and electrical engineering from library books. No formal degree, no corporate backing, just a self-taught black man from Cincinnati, Ohio, who refused to accept that the problem couldn't be solved. In 1938, he invented the first automatic portable refrigeration system for trucks. Compact, shockproof, self-starting. It worked. And that one invention changed everything for humans and food. It made this supermarket possible. The frozen food industry, fresh produce available everywhere in the country, any time of the year, all because of Fred Jones. The entire cold chain that moves through billions of pounds of food across the country every single day, we have Fred Jones to thank for. During World War II, the military used his technology to transport food, blood, and medicine to troops on the front lines. His invention was literally keeping soldiers alive. By the time he died in 1961, Frederick McKinley Jones had 61 patents, 40 of them in refrigeration alone. In 1944, he became the first black man ever elected to the American Society of Refrigeration Engineers. They called him the King of Cool. This wasn't just a cool invention, however. This man literally restructured the way the entire world eats. The global food distribution network that feeds billions of people runs on the foundation Frederick McKinley Jones built. And it's insane that he educated himself from library books after being told implicitly and explicitly that people like him were not supposed to be inventors at the time. Stay black, stay blessed.
We create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the modern shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, huh? We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS. We have the guy who created the algorithm for Instagram, who's a 21-year-old Ghanaian kid. We've done all this shit. Then the internet was discovered by a Nigerian guy in the 80s. Like, we've done all of this innovation, even though we've been shit on.
For years, many people have repeated the false claim that Black people have contributed little or nothing to innovation and invention. That narrative ignores a long history of groundbreaking achievements that have helped shape the world we live in today. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the incredible inventions and innovations created by Black inventors, whose contribution often go unrecognized. Credit goes to the original creators of each and every clip we'll be using on this video. Let's watch this video, guys, and I'll be back with more commentary.
If you're really committed to being a racist in this country, you can't unsee what I'm about to show you. You might want to start checking Amazons for blankets, because this gas furnace behind me, you don't get to have one of those either, because that was invented by a Black woman named Alice Parker around 1920. She received a patent on it. Yeah, that's how we stay warm today. I mean, if you love potato chips, they gotta go, because a man named George Crumb, a chef in New York, had sent French fries out with a meal and a customer complained. So what did Mr. Crumb do? He sliced potatoes so thin, fried them up, dumped a bunch of salt on them, and sent them out. And that is the American delight of potato chips. They gotta go. Here in the bathroom, Lotta Newman patented the first hairbrush with synthetic bristles in 1898. And she's just the third Black American woman to ever receive a patent. Now, I know this isn't going to affect those skinheads very much. In 1892, George Sampson of Dayton, Ohio, received patent number 476,416 for what is the forerunner of the modern dryer we use today. It's going to suck drying your clothes outside. In the late 1880s, Samuel Scotron of Pennsylvania patented the curtain rod. Ooh, let's go piss off some white girls. It's going to be really hard to plan racist rallies without a color monitor. Invented by Mark Dean, an engineer at IBM, he is also on 3 of the original 9 patents of the IBM PC that came out in 1981. Did you know in 1897, Albert Crowell in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, developed the mechanized ice cream scoop? You know, the click, click that separates the ice cream from the spoon, changing the way ice cream is served. And if you're racist and an ice cream lover, it's going to get worse. I told you it's going to get worse. Augustus Jackson, the father of ice cream, pioneered many of the methods we have today to enjoy ice cream, including the way we salt it. Another thing about being a racist, you're going to have to give up the freezer and frozen foods, because Frederick McKinley Jones of Ohio, who was orphaned at 9 years old with a 6th grade education, a young biracial boy, grew up to invent Thermo King, which is the reason why we have frozen foods that are shipped and stored in stores and our homes. You got to give up ice cream and frozen pieces? So if you still want to be a racist, there are some things you're going to need to purge from your life. If you would, just put it out on the curb. I'll send some trucks around to pick it up, and we'll go give it to real Americans who really need it. Have a great day.
According to this image, nothing ever was invented in the green zone. Look at the green zone, yeah? No invention whatsoever, not even writing, yeah? Let's debunk this fool. This is Meroitic writing from ancient Kush, aka Nubia. We've deciphered the Meroitic script, however, the ancient language has not been fully reconstructed, so we don't know what it's reading, but we can write in this ancient script, okay? So the idea that no writing was invented is debunked straight away. And this is Ge'ez, a writing script which originated in Ethiopia and Eritrea. This script predates even the rise of the Roman Empire and the rise of the city of Rome. Think about that. And this is Nsibidi, which originates in southern Nigeria. Now, Nsibidi was used by southern Nigerians such as the Igbo and other related ethnic groups within the same region that they're in. Now, Nsibidi, unlike the other two, is a pictographic script, meaning you can't write sentences using these symbols. However, it's called a proto-script, like the beginning stage of a writing script for it to eventually evolve into a written language. Fun fact, Nsibidi was taken to the Americas and used in revolutionary wars, I believe in Cuba. There's pages that revolutionaries had that they were using these symbols to communicate. There's evidence of that. You look it up if you think I'm lying. Other examples come in the form of instruments. This is the mbira for my culture, Zimbabwe. However, it must be noted, these types of instruments are found in various regions. I've even found some in Nigeria. I didn't even know they had them in Nigeria. Some of them are made from wood instead of metal. Almost forgot this example. This is a script which was developed by the Bamileke people in parts of Cameroon. Now, this script was created by one of their kings called King Njoya. This one is a full-on writing script, and they wrote an entire chronicle for their kingdom. King Njoya was a genius when it comes to architecture, when it comes to writing. He's a very underrated king, I'll tell you that now. And this is African black soap, a specific type of soap that was invented in West Africa using various natural resources in the region. African black soap is special because it inhibits the growth of microbial bodies like bacteria, and it also helps with staph infection. I use African black soap every day and I've not felt cleaner since I started using it, so trust me, it works, but try it yourself. And this is Hausa architecture. Now, Hausa architecture has a unique dome structure which was created by them. It's totally unique from the domes that you see from Arabia and also from the Romans. It's a unique architectural element that they invented, which is beautiful. This is the inside of it. There are plenty of other examples I could have given. Now, in my video debunking this old man right here, I go into detail regarding the architecture and African black soap, as well as African rice and the rice cultivation that was invented. So if you're interested in that, go check out my YouTube channel, Lion Clan Chief, and learn some more about Africa, okay?
Africa isn't underdeveloped, it's overexploited. So the idea that Africans have never invented anything is simply white supremacy. So here are a list of inventions that come from Africa. Ancient Egypt, they got the first surgical tools. Surgical instruments like the scalpels, forceps, and the sutures. Writing system, 3200 BC. We have both the hieroglyphics from Egypt and the Meterotic script from Nubia. First university over in Timbuktu, Mali, 12th century. Over 25,000 students studied astronomy, mathematics, and law here, with a librarian who wrote 700 books by hand. First mathematics system, ancient Egypt, 2000 BC. The Rhine mathematical papyrus featured algebra, geometry, and fractions. By the way, these were used to build the pyramids, so unfortunately it was not the aliens. Africans just got the sauce like that. First iron smelting, the Nok culture of Nigeria, 500 BC. Iron tools revolutionized agriculture and warfare centuries before Europe's Iron Age. First cataract surgery. Yeet. First star maps by the Dogon people of Mali had cosmology that predated Western telescopes by centuries. First antibiotic, Nubia, 300 CE. The invention was tetracycline in Nubian beer. First solar calendar over in Egypt, 5000 BCE, the Nabta Playa, the world's earliest astronomical calendar older than Stonehenge. It predicted monsoons and guided agriculture in the Sahara. It wasn't just iron. Advanced metallurgy of the Haya people of Tanzania developed preheating techniques for steel production. Their furnaces reached temperatures of 1800 Celsius, centuries before the Bessemer process in Europe. Urban plumbing in ancient Zimbabwe, 1100 CE, the kingdom of Mapambumbwe already had engineered drainage systems that predated Roman aqueduct. Neurosurgical trepanation. Yeesh! Special shout out to the first board game, Sonnet, played in ancient Egypt. You can actually still play this game today. You can literally buy it over on Amazon. Last but not least, ancient Egypt had the world's first Karen. The world's first complaint. I'm tired of doing business with you. You have been the worst merchant I have dealt with. I'll tell all my friends not to purchase wear from you anymore. When it comes to SaaS, I guess it's confirmed it started in Africa.
Here are 15 black inventors that you should have heard of, coming to you live from the National Inventors Hall of Fame. We're going to kick things off with Marie Van Britten Brown, the woman who was ADT and Ring before ADT and Ring ever existed. In the 1960s, as a nurse in New York, she was fascinated with electronic products, and her husband happened to work in the electronics industry, so she got her hands on some closed-circuit television cameras. And what she did was create a home security system, complete with that closed-circuit camera, remote door locks, panic buttons to the fire and police department. She could remotely lock and unlock her door, and she received a patent for this.
George Washington Murray was born into slavery in 1853 in South Carolina, and he actually served in Congress. He was the only African American in the 53rd and 54th Congress. But he was also an inventor, and he held 8 patents in farming and agriculture. And one of those patents, those inventions, was this one right here, which was inspired by his wife's sewing machine. And it was a farming device that had interchangeable parts.
Next up on our list is the man, the myth, the legend, George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver did not invent the peanut, that was the big guy, or peanut butter, but he did find over 325 uses for the peanut, aka legume, revolutionizing the entire industry.
Patricia Bath was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2022 and was the first black woman physician to receive a medical patent. Her invention, the laser phaco, a new device and technique for removing cataracts.
Dr. Gladys West, a Virginia State University graduate who went on to work at the Naval Surface Warfare Center for over 40 years, she came up with many, many amazing things. But the crazy thing and the most amazing thing she did is she figured out the gravitational and tidal forces on our planet. And she figured out the mathematical computations. And what this led to is pinpoint accuracy of GPS.
Familiar with blood banks and blood mobiles, then thank Dr. Charles Drew of the illustrious Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Dr. Drew created a way for us to not only preserve blood, but to transport it, which was very important during World War II, which saved countless numbers of lives. Unfortunately, African Americans at that time were not allowed to actually donate blood, but that was reversed in 1942 when the Red Cross allowed it, except that blood was still segregated. Dr. Charles Drew then resigned in protest. Sadly, Dr. Charles Drew would actually die in 1950 in a car accident.
One of my favorite inventors of all time, Frederick McKinley Jones. He was orphaned at 11 years old with a 6th grade education, and he went on to change our world. Not only did he patent the movie ticket dispensing machine, he created a pre-runner of the snowmobile and the portable x-ray machine. He also created mobile refrigeration, which gave the world Thermo King, which is how we transport frozen items from point A to point B. And he received over 60 patents in his lifetime.
If you like breadcrumbs in your salad, then you're going to love Joseph Lee. Born in 1849, he spent the first 10 years of his life in slavery. He then went on to be a blacksmith in the Civil War and then served as a steward in the U.S. Coast Survey. Now, as a steward, he was a cook and a baker. And it was the baking that changed everything. A self-taught entrepreneur, Lee created a device that was a kneading device that helped streamline the baking process and create more uniform bread. With a lot more bread, he started looking around and seeing that there's a lot actually going to waste. And so even though it may be a day old or a little stale, he's like, you know what, there's something that can be done about this. And so he created the breadcrumber.
James West holds over 250 national and international patents. He's most famously known for the electric microphone, and over 90% of microphones in use today are based upon his technology.
One of the best-selling toys of all time and a water gun that changed the world, the Super Soaker, was actually invented by a nuclear engineer and a graduate of Tuskegee University, Lonnie Johnson.
Now let's talk about Ned. We don't actually know his last name because Ned was an enslaved black American man, and he came up with the idea of the double cotton scraper. But the man who enslaved him, Oscar Stewart, tried to patent that idea, but because he couldn't prove that he came up with it, he couldn't receive the patent. And because Ned was an enslaved man, he couldn't prove citizenship, America.
Thomas Jennings was the first African American to receive a patent in the United States for dry scouring, which is today what we call dry cleaning. In 1820, he applied for the patent and had to take an oath to swear that he was actually a citizen of the United States. Now, he was a freeman, so he was a citizen. Upon his death, Frederick Douglass wrote that the patent recognized his citizenship.
I told you about Ned, but let me tell you about Madam C.J. Walker, one of the first American women to be a self-made millionaire. She built a hair product company that became an international conglomerate. And she was so successful because she invested back in her business and the communities that supported her. And she actually went to President Woodrow Wilson in 1917 to demand that we make lynching a crime.
If you like working from home, then thank Marion Croak, the inventor of the Voice over the Internet protocol. She's the one who kept us all connected during COVID. Walt Disney's most prolific inventor is Laney Smoot. He has 106 patents and counting. And one of my personal favorites is the extendable lightsaber. And he has been revolutionizing the film industry. And one of those inventions is this right here, the holotile floor technology, which allows actors to be on a stage, stand on the floor, and walk and move in any direction without ever actually moving.
This concludes our tour at the National Inventors Hall of Fame here in Alexandria, Virginia. Well, this is like a living, breathing database of some of the most brilliant and American genius in our country's history.
So, what are we going to talk about next?
Next.
Everything in this country was invented by a black man. Donald Trump said it himself. Check it out.
We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything.
The only thing he left out of that sentence that it was invented by black men. We invented everything. I did that.
The next time you get a scoop of ice cream, think of Alfred Crail. Crail, a black man, came up with the idea for the scooper when he worked as a porter in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He saw ice cream servers struggling to get the ice cream on the cone. So he invented the original scooper, which he called the ice cream mold and disher. He received a patent for it in February 1897. Now, although he received the patent, he wasn't able to capitalize financially on it because others made better improvements. But it all goes to Alfred Crail, who was the original inventor of the ice cream scooper. Who knew? I knew, and now you do. It's amazing what you learn when you do research. Auntie Bev speaks during Black History Month.
Looking at all the inventions and innovations we just saw, it becomes clear that Black people have played a major role in shaping the world we live in today. From technology and transportation to music, communication, and everyday household conveniences, their contribution have touched nearly every part of the modern life. What makes this even more remarkable is that many of these achievements are not widely taught or discussed. For generations, the accomplishments of Black inventors, scientists, and innovators were often overlooked, minimized, or left out of mainstream history. As a result, many people grew up believing the false idea that Black people contributed little to human progress. The clips we watched tell a different story. They show creativity, intelligence, and determination, and a commitment to solving real-world problems. These inventors didn't just create things for their own communities. They developed ideas and technologies that benefited people everywhere. Understanding this history is important because it gives credit where it is due and helps paint a more complete picture of human achievements. When we learn about the contribution of all people, we gain a better understanding of how progress is truly made. Now, here is the question for you. Which invention featured in this video surprised you the most and why? Share your thoughts on the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next one.